And now she is this, media mogul worth billions of dollars, like one of the richest women on this planet. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Amaka Answers. And this channel is all about all things related to careers, personal branding, inspiration, motivation, all that good stuff to help us live our best lives. So today I'm going to be talking about how can you find the best job for you, especially if you want to use your strengths and your personality to find a job that's more tailored to you and your circumstances. But before I get into all that good stuff, make sure that you like, you follow, you subscribe, you share with a friend, anything that you can do to just make sure we build a tribe, a community together where everyone is really committed to living their best lives. So, on to today's video. I often get asked, how do I know what job is best for me? How do I know what's a good fit for me in terms of a job? I don't just want to go after what my parents have said or my teachers or whoever said. I just want to find a job that I think will be best suited to me and that matches my personality and my strengths. I always say, if you don't know what kind of job you want to get into, firstly figure out what are your strengths. Okay, so what are your strengths? What are the things that you do with literally minimal effort? What are the things that people always compliment you on, or the things that you really enjoy doing? Another way I like to phrase it is, if you could do anything in the world and money wasn't an issue, time wasn't an issue, COVID wasn't an issue, what would that be? And most time you'll probably figure out exactly what you want to do. But I would like to, I guess we can kind of fine tune it, rein it in from the beginning and start to look at what are your strengths, okay? And there's been so much research on this in industry where, people who really do well in their jobs or excel in their jobs or stay long in their jobs are usually those people who have been recruited according to their strengths, okay? So your strengths are things that you're good at, things that you do easily, things that you do with the least amount of effort, okay? So always start off with that point when you're figuring out what kind of jobs I want to go for, okay? I used to do this quite a lot because when I first started on my career journey, I just used to go for the things that I thought were most prestigious and the things that looked good on paper. And again, growing up, I'm from a Nigerian background, and it was more like do stuff that are quite academic or things that will earn you the most amount of money. And there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely, there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you find people go into jobs and they're completely not even satisfied at all. They hate going to work. It's like the last thing they ever want to do, and they kind of wish that they were doing something else. So if you want to kind of prevent that from happening to you, I would say really think about what is it that you're good at, or think about what is it the things that you absolutely hate and then flip it on its head. So if you hate, for example, injustice, maybe because you hate injustice, you might want to go down the law route, for example. That's just an example, okay? Another thing I get asked is, okay, I found my strengths, what do I do next? I am so big on personality tests. I absolutely love them, and just bear in mind, not every test is accurate, but some of them have been scientifically validated. But bear in mind, just because you complete this test and it says, oh, you might be suited to dentistry, or oh, you might be suited to the dance world, or you might be a chef. Literally, you always have to do what's right for you at the end of the day, because I think most people know deep down what's good for them and what is probably not sitting right with them. So a few of my favorite personality tests to take, I love Myers-Briggs. I've actually completed this test a couple of times over my life to see if it's changed, and it hasn't. And so what Myers-Briggs is they have around 16 different personalities, and they kind of match you based on the way you see things, the way you perceive things, and so on and so forth. And it what it does is it has a personality profile, and it shows you how you are in the work world, how you are in relationships, how you could be as a parent or are as a parent. So my test keeps coming back as ESFJ. So anyone who wants to do some research and probably wants to get to know me a bit, my test always comes up as ESFJ. And within that, they usually kind of share some like careers that will be good for you. But with my personality type, they usually say I'll be good for like the medicine, the healthcare profession, because you need people who are really, you know, caring and hands-on in the healthcare profession, and that's just not me. And I totally take my hat off to all those people who work in those amazing professions. But for me, I know I can't deal with like blood or trauma or anything like that, so I know that's not for me. But what I did was think about what are the other things that I enjoy that kind of match those personality kind of attributes. And I know, for example, in human resources, which is where I currently work, you have to be really hands-on, no day is the same, and at points in your career as well, you have to be really nurturing, because you're helping people figure out what is their ideal career path, you're helping with career planning, you're helping people get jobs, so you have to be really, you know, understanding and somewhat nurturing to people as well. So that's how I kind of use the Myers-Briggs test to get to where I am right now. So I would say try these personality tests, they're super useful. And one of the things that I know a lot of people do is they test this out through different points in their career to see if their personality has actually changed. And then with that change brings like a new job avenue or a new job change, for example. I know mine hasn't changed, mine has still been ESFJ, but I know a lot of people whose personality type has changed, and in line with that change, they probably look for more fulfillment in a different kind of job role and use that test again to kind of get to a fulfilling career. So yeah, it's really important to regularly like analyze yourself, regularly like check in with yourself and know where you want to be in the future, because these days nobody's really in the same kind of career for life. Most people stay in jobs maybe 2-3 years and then move on to another one. I think gone are the days where people are like in a job from, you know, age 18 after university, after school or whatever, and stay until they retire. I think those days are kind of over. Most people move jobs every other year, and constantly really like rebrand and innovate themselves. So try not to think, oh my gosh, this job career that I go into is going to be the one that you're going to stay in until you retire. Most likely not. I mean, even if you look at your favorite entertainers, for example, they might start off as singers, for example. I'll use Rihanna. She started off obviously singing, and then she's done like some acting, and now she's just doing big moves with like with Fenty and makeup and beauty. And on top of that, she's diversifying now into like lingerie with Savage by Fenty, for example. So it's not just like one career path for Rihanna. And I'm sure she's probably going to evolve again and do something different. And that's the same for our careers. None of us really stay in one kind of like role or one kind of industry. I think most people move around as time goes on and as we discover more about ourselves. Okay, so another thing I would say which has been super helpful for me in terms of figuring out like what do I want to do is lots of reading. So there's this book that I actually was recommended not too long ago actually. Let me go out of focus a bit and get it. Let me do what all the YouTubers do when they do all that. I don't think you guys can see, or it's a bit out of focus or the other way around because of my camera, but anyway, I will link it below. But this book is super useful because what it does is you do like a little like personality test again. You answer a few questions and then it gives you like your top 4 personality traits. So for me, I'm just going to pick out one of the ones for me. So one of mine that came up is that I'm a developer, and it says that I see the potential in others, and I interact with others, and my goal is to help people experience success. Mac answers. And what they do in this book, there's quite a long description, I'm not going to read it all out, but they have ideas for action, so how you can develop that trait, and it also has like how you can work with other people that also have that kind of personality type as you. So I highly recommend this as a starting point, and I will share the link for anyone who's interested in reading that kind of book. And there's so many other books. There's another one, oh, I read it years ago, I think it's What Color Is My Parachute, and that was really helpful for figuring out what your strengths are and what you're good at, and knowing like the value that you bring. Another book, why am I so out of breath bending? Another book I really like, again I'm going to do what the other YouTubers do, it's called called To Create, and it's a book on like creativity, innovation and risk. I really enjoyed that book, and I thought it was really helpful for me to figure out, as well as what am I good at for work, but like what is also my bigger purpose. Because I feel gone are the days where most people go to work just for money. Money is a huge thing, huge thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to pretend that I don't want more money. Give me the money. But purpose is also huge. A lot of people want to know, you know, how do I play into the bigger picture of the organization? How can I kind of get my other kind of needs met and feel more fulfilled? Because if you kind of deep it, we are at work for a minimum of 8 hours a day. So it's really important that you look for something that really makes you feel also fulfilled and kind of like part of your bigger picture as well. So those two books really helped me. And other things that's really helped is reading autobiographies. I love autobiographies, and because it shows me people's career journeys. Back in the day, I used to think that you can just get a job and your career life, it just goes like a graph, it just goes up. But most times it's not even like that, especially in this like COVID world that we're in right now. It's more likely to be up, down, up, down, up, down. And a lot of people I admire, their careers have literally been up, down, and they literally started off doing something different compared to where they are right now. I give you the example of someone I really admire, like Oprah. I've read countless books, watched countless interviews, and her story, I think she starts off mainly like working in radio, then being like a TV anchor, and then having her talk show, and now she is this, you know, media mogul, worth billions of dollars, like one of the richest women on this planet. But to get there, she had to go through so much. You know, there was probably lots of different self-realization, and also using her strengths and her personality to get her to where she is right now. So I would also recommend reading, you know, autobiographies of your favorites, celebrities or entrepreneurs or people that's just really made it big in life, because it will really inspire you on your own journey. And when you do hit bumps in the road, because you will do, I have, it really helps you to see, actually I can keep on going because this person hit bumps and they overcame it, and so can I. So really get into autobiographies, read these kind of strength finder kind of books or books related to career planning. Get your personality test. I love those. I could spend hours doing them. And also know what your strengths are. So I hope this video was super helpful for you. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share with anyone who's also trying to figure out, you know, what they want to do. I hope this video will be super helpful for them. And, you know, I want to engage with you guys as well. Write down what you did to help you figure out what you wanted to do in your career. It might also help other people, because with this channel I want it to be like a community, a tribe of all of us, really just helping each other, sharing ideas and helping each other live our best lives. So I hope that was super helpful, and I can't wait to speak to you guys again. Until next time.